Hi guys, so I wanted to film a recap video. We're not quite done with our day schools just yet with Miss Tazzie, but I'd like to film one. I'm so behind on filming, I'm so sorry. I do have videos and pictures for you guys. I am just behind on getting them updated, which is kind of why I'm doing this. This is an easier format for me to edit and upload, so I apologize. But Miss Tazzie really does know her basic commands. It's about her environment and her listening. No matter what her environments are like. We do struggle a little bit with impulse control, but that's normal for her breed and especially for her age. This age is, I like to joke, it's like squirrel age. They're like, what? What's that? Huh? Oh, right. I was supposed to focus. I'm sorry. Hi. Very, very common for this age. Now, with Miss Tazzie, yes, good girl. With her, there are a few things that I would recommend in regards to training and steps moving forward. She is definitely getting that mental engagement, and we are seeing more confidence when we're out in public and doing field trips. So there's definitely more things that we can work with her. But I wanted to film this recap for you so that way you knew how to work on her core skills and how to set those expectations. So first and foremost, I like to teach dogs their names as commands in and of itself. So the idea behind this is it sets a foundation of what is the body mechanics that she's supposed to do when you call her. So she comes, sits, and looks at you. It's a recall because she has to come actually physically to you and sit at you. And then it's also leave it, where she has to ignore whatever she's checking out, sniffing, and comes to you. So how we set this foundation is just by using her name, and she has to come and sit. I think I've sent you a video about this before, but Tazzie, that's it. That's the expectation. Yes, good girl. So if I were to toss a treat, go get it. And she's going to go be distracted with something. When you're like, Tazzie, good girl. This is what you want. Where she's like, yes, hello. It's a check-in. I recommend doing this a few times throughout your day. You are a handful for food, you work with this, and you're done. Play hide and go seek with the kids or with the family in the house. It's a good way to reinforce what that expectation is. Also, when you're going to come say hi to her, so you're picking up her from daycare, you're dropping her off, instead of being like, here you go, and she's like, yeah. What you can do is, Tazzie, come here. Say her name, Tazzie. Yes. Okay, now we can say hi. Now we can go to daycare. Get her to sit before she does things, or when you're like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited to see you. Come here. Can you sit? Yes. Okay, now I can get the love and praise and all the attention instead of the 2 feet up here. Now, if you like her feet coming up here, you can invite it at any time. This is an okay thing to ask as long as you're inviting it and not her. The other part of name game that it kind of leads into is that recall perspective. So instead of just saying come or here, I like to put their name and then the come command. So I'm going to, again, distract her with something over there. Come here, kiddo. Go get it. So she is going to go check something out in the corner, so she actually has a little space. What's going to happen is you're going to say, Tazzie, come here. You're going to make some noises, make it a party. Good girl. I am not looking for her to sit with me. I just want her to run to me. The reason why is I want her recall 9 out of 10 times, if not 10 out of 10 times, coming to you physically. If we wait for her to come, yeah, and then sit, which she does really well, it can potentially poison or devalue the recall to you. What we want is her to, yes, come here, yeah, no matter what else is happening around you. Whether it's dogs, it's people, it's rabbits, doesn't matter. You have to come to me. That is a big part of this. So when we get that 9 out of 10 times, no matter the environment or threshold, then we can start adding a fancy sit at the end. Hi, good girl. The other thing I like to teach you guys to do is what I like to call disengagement. So we're going to do it by play disengagement, which ultimately turns into leave it. So play disengagement, the idea is that you're going to purposely get her crazy. I just go crawl. No. It takes a little bit, I'm going to admit, for me to get her kind of crazy. She's not usually a big tugger. I usually have to like, woohoo, and run around and be crazy with like a big stuffy, and then I might get her to be involved. But the idea is when you're at home or when you have her interested in something, you're going to purposely see if you can play tug, get her interested in it, and then you're going to say, Tazzie. Tazzie. Yes, good girl. The idea is that when she's playing, you're going to say Tazzie, and she's going to sit and look at you. Similar to name game, but now it's checking in what we're doing, and then you're going to go back to that big play and excitement. You can also do this with Tazzie, leave it. where this becomes leave it, or it can be treats, toys, food, no matter what it is a leave it. So, for example, here is 2 little meat sticks, treat sticks. Yes, we like these. Put them down at her level, leave it. You can do a swipe, you can do a body. You're gonna tell her leave it, and then you're gonna walk away with her. Come on, Tazzie, come on. Can she walk around the thing that you just said leave it? Leave it is don't look at it, don't touch it, don't even think about it. And when you say, yes, good girl, it's not an automatic permission to eat the treats that she wants. It's, okay, I did it right. It's still going though, because she doesn't get these until you release them with an okay or a take it or have it, something along those lines. That means now it's time to have this. Now, I think you can only see her head on this video. I have a place bed right there, and she was like, I'm gonna go sit on this because I know this is the right behavior to do. Those pleasing behaviors are something that we love to see. It means that she understands the expectation and she's trying to reinforce it. So that's her going above and beyond. But when we talk about leave it, I want you to practice when you're cutting up dinner, when you are taking groceries out. It's all about, hey, I need you to leave it, and having her sit and look at you. When it's bunnies, when it's things in motion, let me grab a ball real quick. So when it's a ball or a rabbit or a bird, you can practice saying leave it, and can you bounce a ball next to her? She's just sitting there. Can I toss it? Leave it. Good girl. Yes. Good girl. And she's watching it, but she's not moving from her spot. Now, I didn't give her command of place. I just gave her a command of leave it. Okay, Tazzie, come on. Yes, good girl. Okay, go get it. Not interested. That's okay. But that's the idea of how to teach leave it. Have fun teasing her in different ways. Last but not least are 2 body commands. Now, these are commands that I like teaching more in person. This is what I would recommend in your one-on-one, when it's place and leash walking. Place is our duration hold. It doesn't have to be, it can be wait, stay, or place. Reason why I teach place is because dogs learn 3-dimensionally. So when they learn it on a physical item, so a place bed, a place cot, things along those lines, they go, I'm not supposed to move from this dog island. Tazzie, leave it. Tazzie, come. Come on. Good girl. Yes. Can we go up to place? Sit. Place. Place is she has to sit and put her butt down. The mechanics of stay and wait are the same, where you put your hand out and then put it away, but she can't come off of there until you release it. So that's the key difference with this, is that she can't move. Sit. Place. She cannot move until I give her the command, which is going to be place, which is going to be yes, which is going to be her name and okay. Now, right here, this is her boundary pushing. This is the one thing we are still not necessarily struggling with, but still working on, is that she doesn't like you going out of sight. She also doesn't like when you are with your back and her back are side by side. Come here. She gets like almost a little nervous, a little fearful with it. Come here. Which is, again, not uncommon for this age place, but it's dogs that are a little hesitant of like, I don't know about this. She'd rather watch me be far, far away, and she'll stay there, not a problem. It's more when I walk behind her and she can't see me anymore, where she's like, I don't trust this whatsoever. So that's the part that we're working on with her duration commands. But she gets to move when I tell her, Tazzie, okay, and then she can go chase a treat. But about this is, it doesn't matter where you stick her, whether it's a physical boundary or just on the ground. It's a flat hand place, and then she doesn't move until you release. The other thing that I like to teach more in person is that leash skills. So I would recommend that we chat about what gear we're going to use with Miss Tazzie, whether it's a slip lead, a martingale collar, an easy walk harness. I've seen all gear be positive and negative. I'd recommend a slip lead for her. She's pretty responsive to it. It's an active dialogue, an active conversation between you and the dog. Also, dogs learn by the release of tension than tension in and of itself. So when you walk with her, it's her right as a dog. Hi, sweet girl. It's her right as a dog between her nose and essentially her butt. She can be in line with your body. If she's ahead, it's a privilege. If it's behind, it's a privilege / natural consequence. Ideally, she's walking right here with you. When you have that leash in your hand, one leash is going to be your anchor hand. The other is going to be your talking hand, the hand that gives her the corrections, but also changes how much leash she has. So as you're walking around, you can have a nice loose leash. Come on. And she's right there with you. She's pretty good without distractions. As soon as we start getting distractions, that's when we have some problems. Now, why I like to do this in person is to describe how you guys are walking and really take a look at it. But also, this is about body boundaries. Tazzie rather give you space than to push you. So she's kind of the opposite of what you would see with other dogs. Is she's like, I'm gonna just be a few steps behind. I'm a little nervous about that. I'm just gonna be a few steps behind. She's interested and she wants to check things out, but she's like, I'm okay. I'm cool back here. Thanks. So getting her to realize, hey, let's go, let's walk, and how to work through that. There's a few things that I want to see in person with you guys that will fine tune it, but reinforcing these walking skills, one, it's a little too hot to really double down on it. And that's something as it gets cooler, we can definitely keep going. And when we do our field trips, we work on it in cool environments. But for the most part, this kid has learned her expectations. It's now really making sure those thresholds are proof that you can take her anywhere and she knows the expectation. Again, I wanted to film kind of a recap for you guys, so that way you can, this is what we're doing, but also so that way we can get more in the nuance of what are the next steps and how do we really develop those thresholds for her. It's been an absolute pleasure working with her. We still have a few more sessions after this, but let me know if you have any questions.